only available to servicemen and/or their heirs.
Correct. So, for the most part. And you got to also sometimes test that because it's not, it's active duty, correct?
Some products and services are available to all of us. Other products and services are only limited to active soldiers. I think the insurance is the one that's limited to active duty or former active duty people. But I think we can all get access to their banking products, and I think mortgages and stuff. You just can't get the insurance. I think the insurance is somehow restricted under that rule.
So don't go down that road of this isn't one of the guaranteed replacement cost companies. You're knocking on patriotism, to some extent too. That, I mean, get ready for the backlash. Know that what you're going into, and to everybody that said here, it's good coverage too. So it's not as if you're just you're battling a known stereotype that you have to fight through because it's the best thing for the client. It's usually really good coverage.
Which is why you need to spend time with an agent, how to read a review, and understand what to look for. Because if you see USA, you might say, "Oh yeah, Justin and Chris said don't do anything with it," but you still might want to look at it and say, "What about deductibles? What about coverage for antiquities or pneumatic type items or jewelry or whatever?" You ought to have enough knowledge to be able to look at a contract and say, look, you don't need a $500 deductible on the house. Come on, you've got a $2 million liquid net worth, $3 million overall. You could easily afford a $2,500 deductible on the house. Anything less than that, you're going to pay out of pocket anyway. So what's the break even on raising the deductible? A car, hate to raise the deductible there. So just part of what today is, and spend some time with an agent that you know and trust. They can educate you a little bit about what to look for, so that when you see a State Farm or USA, you think the State Farm is good, no need to change it. The client just says, "I don't want to change," but you can at least look at it and make some comments.
Some of the items to consider, basics, which we've talked about, it's contractual differences amongst that. And if you ever, I remember Dan Power being good at this over the years of just, Dan, I know this is going to come up in question. Help me specifically in the new policy versus the old policy. Can we copy paste the difference in the definition, just so kind of have that ready, because I know that's going to be a bone of contention of what you're dealing with. He's one of the best, if not the best, from an information perspective, being able to evaluate the different carriers and contracts that are out there. From a homeowner's perspective, it's very important, and I've had this conversation with every client. It's the difference between market value and replacement cost value of your home. And that is especially important whenever you have massive swings like we saw coming out of the Great Recession in the value of homes. And just because a home's market value went down doesn't mean it still costs a lot of money to build those homes, from the pure replacement cost of hammering the nails together and putting the whole piece of it. That did not fall as great as what the market value of some of the homes fell to. So note that it's always the replacement cost value. And also note, which is very rarely, sometimes it's never delineated because it shouldn't be, but you're covering the structure of the home, not the land. And a lot of people, if they have a very expensive lot, but the home may be relatively modest, I've seen some of your more, below 350 type, the 300 type of carriers will put, a 150 times they'll put some 125 times the replacement cost value, or some sort of a factor piece that increases